Donald Trump speaks with Newsmax's John Bachman. And at Saturday's Save America rally in Arizona, former President Trump spoke exclusively with Newsmax's John Bachman, who were behind the scenes filming things, but didn't actually film the actual thing. I don't even know if they ran it. We didn't see it on there. But in this particular zone, I guess he's coming. We'll see. I don't know if he's going on stage or off stage. He was late going on. Maybe this is right before. We'll see what these. Does anybody want to set a slurred speech meter? Let's see.
Stage with President Trump. Great to see you again, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sounds like the Republicans are going to take back control of the Congress. And what would you like to see them do?
Yeah, it does not sound like that. Not even close. No, it doesn't. I know that's like you're hearing that some sort of narrative, but that's not even remotely true. And especially with this asshole killing off his own voters and telling people not to vote, it's all rigged anyways. Till we deal with 2020, how are we ever gonna? Blah, blah.
First, what should be priority number one if they do take back control?
Number one, take back. That's what has to be number one. We have to take it back. These are radicalized, horrible people that hate our country. What they're doing with the open borders and the judges and all of the things they've been doing is so sad. And then you look at Afghanistan.
Do you think he went without the tie because he got his neck gina was just like so overwhelming? His nunt. Sorry. It was like so bad that he's like, yeah, we got to pop it open. I'm going straight up. What you doing on your back? Yeah. You need a bigger collar. That's a great idea too. Somebody talked to his stylist who came up with the idea to have a collar that doesn't lay out, but it just goes up to his fucking ears. Is it one of Rudy's shirts? What happened?
As a topper, the way they came out, we were coming out, and we were coming out strong with dignity. There's never been a lower point than what happened with Afghanistan, in my opinion. So we've got to, number one, we've got to win the House, and I think we can win the Senate also. We should win the House, maybe handily, and I think we should win the Senate.
Yeah, well, I know you think we should, that you should. You're not going to. Dude, you're talking most of your voters out of voting. Even the ones that you're like, you got to get out there and vote. You can't say it without 3 minutes later going, we can't. I don't trust any of these friggin' elections where they're rigged and bullshit. Why would people, especially when we're not going to be in a pandemic during this next one, people are going to be voting in person, so they're going to have to stand in line. Why the fuck would you stand in line if you think it's rigged? Why would you even leave the house? And yet this asshole's like, gone, yeah. It's until we fix 2020, we can't do 2022. Good Lord.
Some lock him up chance for Dr. Fauci out there. What about holding Dr. Fauci accountable?
Well, he is accountable. He's somebody that has done some pretty poor work. You know, with me, he wanted to...
What? No, holding him accountable. Oh, if he's accountable. Okay, he's held accountable. He's accountable. Then he holds himself accountable. What? Hold on. Hi, say that shit again. Oh, am I on the right? There we go. Thank you. Hey, listen to that question.
Accountable. He's somebody...
Wait, one second.
Fauci out there. What about holding Dr. Fauci accountable?
Well, he is accountable. He's somebody that has done some pretty poor work. You know, with me, he wanted to keep it open to China, keep it open to Europe. We would have lost hundreds of thousands more people. But he wasn't a big factor in my administration. But Biden has made him a big factor, and they have done a horrible job on COVID, or the China virus, as I call it. But they've done a horrible job.
What would you be doing differently right now when it comes to COVID?
Yeah.
Well, one thing, no mandates. The mandates are killing our economy. I'm convinced that when you...
Yes, the mandates are killing our economy. Which is stronger than people have seen in, 30 years as far as any kind of comeback in less than a year. And from when the Biden administration launched the rescue package, which would be the main kind of like the lead point, what you want to look at in a recovery from anything that happened in the administration before, you want to tack it to the time from when the next administration instituted a major plan for economic investment or did a tax cut or whatever. But, then you're basically riding the economy of the other administration up to that point, and then you can start tracking whether it's helping or whether it isn't. And that infusion actually helped us immensely. Yeah.
Supply chain problems. You can't get
Thanks,
paper,
Debbie.
you can't get lumber, they can't build houses, they have no...
One moment. Well, I can't. Oh, you bastards. Let's see. Well, here you go. Let me show you a couple of things that come up when you bring up house building in the U.S. Here it is. Now, Des Moines is in Iowa, where most people launch their presidential campaigns, and a lot of focus is put on Iowa during that time. So if you're looking to what headwinds you're going into or what wind might be at your back the next time around, you kind of look to how Iowa will be doing over the next 3 years. These 6 cities set records for building permits in 2021 as $3.3 billion invested in Des Moines Metro. U.S. Bank building in downtown Elizabeth is said to be renovated in the food hall. Okay, there you go. What to expect from the housing market. Another seller's market. Oh, that's rough. China's economy is slowing, a worrying sign for the world. Is it really? So, yeah, apparently you can. Stop fetishizing old homes. These are the other ones that come up. Yeah, by the way, yes, you can. There's a shit ton of houses being built, but the world's over. Like, Des Moines building more houses and getting more building permits, and people are building faster, hand over fist. It's a seller's market. Home prices are high because people want to buy these houses. It's because of demand. And then let's see, lumber has stabilized. But let's check in. Let's see. Lumber outlook. This is from Market Insider. Let's see what lumber prices are at a 7-month high since they collapsed in July. Rallying again. They're rallying again. Okay. Scaling toward their highest level in 7 months. He said lumber's price hovers towards 1,000 per 1,000 board feet. Second sign. Okay. What are the 3 points? One, is it because is lumber so high because no one can do anything? Nobody's got any money to spend. The whole thing is broken down. The world is falling apart. Millennials are reaching the home buying age. Aging millennial population has steadily graduated from student debt to mortgage debt, is putting pressure on the housing demand. So they've paid off their student debt, and now they are taking on mortgage debt because of the timing of that. That's how it usually works. Generations now in their 30s looking to buy some. While sky-high inflation, massive home price appreciation is hurting their buying power, they are still making inroads into the country's housing market. Even as high as shit is, millennials are buying houses at a clip that is keeping the prices high. Just millennials. Avocado toast. I don't even want to have a husband or wife. I want a partner and maybe 3, and we'll all live in a house together, and we'll telecommute, and yada yada, right? A rise in Canadian lumber tariffs. Oh, look at that. In November 2021, the U.S. Commerce Department confirmed it will impose an 18% tariff on imports of Canadian softwood lumber producers in 2022. That is more than twice the 8.9% rate during the Trump administration. The Biden administration initially unveiled the plan in May, causing some lumber yards to stock up and increase their orders before the tariffs kicked in. This is a substantial increase. Canadian lumber has become very expensive again, which is going to drive up U.S. pricing. Some experts have claimed the move will make housing less affordable for Americans and hinder the economic recovery. Half the major producers of lumber in North America are located in BC, and the U.S. imports roughly 50% of their output. and the increased cost of raw goods. Further in the supply chain, the price of timber, wood has been increasing from 10 to 20%. This usually causes supply-demand imbalance, but it isn't. That's the trick. It isn't. What you're seeing prices go up are not about the availability of homes or the building of homes, but time. I want it now. I'm willing to pay more to get the new house built, because even the price of a new home build is up. It is up. It is still, in a lot of cases, lower than buying a house that's been there for a while, a heritage home, one that's been sitting for a few decades. Even if it's better, even if the construction's newer, even if it's more up to date on a bunch of different things, it's oftentimes cheaper than an older home of similar square footage. So people are like, yeah, it's more expensive, but it's cheaper than buying that house, and it's brand new, so fuck it. Yeah, let's go in, because by the time the old house's price is going to continue to rise more than likely, even if, it vacillates more or less over years. Sellers, buyers, markets come and go. But the new houses are going to tap up. UBI is ridiculous and stupid and is just a recipe for inflation, and it's silly. If you want to talk about means testing UBI in lieu of welfare or something, go have that argument in a corner. But it's absurd. It's silly. Anyways, here we go. This is it. You want to know how you can drive up rental prices in California, Illinois, New York, Florida, Washington State, and Oregon $1,000 a month? Instantaneously, hand out $1,000 a month. That's all that's going to happen. Like I said, if you like UBI, we've talked about this before. Fine, go pass a law that rent controls the whole country. Because if you don't, the price is just going to go up. That's it. If you can't stop people, like, oh shit, people got $1,000 more. Cool. We'll just add everything you own. We'll just, everything you buy, everything you subscribe to will go up $10 or $20, and that $1,000 would disappear for the exact same services. And the only difference is you'll have a new bureaucracy that's handing out this money. Means test it. Give it to people who are broke. Because all you're going to do with people who make over $65,000 a year or $100,000 a year, because your UBI is everybody's universal, is that those people are going to stack that money, invest it, turn it into $10,000 per 1,000, and poor people are going to spend it because the cost of everything they do is going to go up commensurate. It's silly. Yeah, if you want to do that, fine, but get to work on the other shit. That's another conversation. We've had that before. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Nails have nothing, and I think to start off with, the mandates are a disaster, and people just aren't working. You can't get people to work because of the mandate.
Dude, we have 10 million more jobs than we have people, and part of it is the overwhelming turning away of immigrants over the last couple of years. During the Trump administration, literally all these Texas and Arizona companies that do, and Mar-a-Lago, where they do all this under-the-table hiring of people who are here illegally. They pay them under the table, drive down wages. They can control these people. They scare the living shit out of them. They can pay them a pittance because all they have to do is turn them in, because they're all operating on fake papers, which they know are fake, but they can go, I didn't know this guy was fake. Go get him, and just turn you into CBP or and have you deported, so they have total control over you. So once that stuff started, once you stop the flow of people coming across that are being taken advantage of that way, then you got to actually hire people above the table, so that and when you do that, you have to file Social Security stuff. You have to do a W-9. You got to pay them for real. And those are all the jobs that are missing. Anyways, and mandates. It's a testing mandate. This is so stupid.
So that would be the first thing I'd do, because I think it would straighten up, help straighten the economy. The other thing you have to do, unrelated to that, but you have to do is we were energy independent, and now we're reliant on OPEC and Russia.
No, we're not. By the way, do you guys remember? Hold on. Trump talks to Russia, OPEC. It was Saudi Arabia. Hold on, let me open this page up. There you go. Guys, anybody remember when this shit was happening? Hold on. U.S.-Russia agree to oil market talks as Trump calls price war crazy. U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed during a phone call on Monday to have their top energy officials discuss slumping oil markets as Trump called Russia's price war with Saudi Arabia crazy. That was from the picture of him giving that palm up handshake he always loved to do. The agreement marks a new twist in the global oil diplomacy since a failed deal earlier this month between the Organization of OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and Russia to cut production ignited the price war between Russia and OPEC's de facto leader, Saudi Arabia. Fallout from the coronavirus pandemic also helped to send oil prices into a historic tailspin, threatening higher cost drillers in the United States and around the globe with bankruptcy. Opinions on the current state of global oil markets were exchanged. It was agreed there would be a Russo-American consultation through this ministry. So it basically was saying, can you guys cut production because you're this game of chicken that Russia and Saudi Arabia were having was driving oil prices down even worse than they were. And it was basically, they were just, the idea was that they drove it below zero. That's what actually happened. It went down to negative $36 a barrel. At which time, by the way, before these talks, Trump could have just told the Energy Department, buy all the oil you can, fill the national reserves, make them pay us to take that oil, and we'll sit on it. Did he? No. He went and had these talks. The price went up, and he waited until the price went up to buy it at like $27 a barrel. Was it a deal on was before? Yeah. Was it $50 more expensive than he could have bought it? Uh-huh. So there you go. This was him begging OPEC and Russia to turn off the spigot, creating this imbalance. And we remember he also talked to he talked Mexico and us into decreasing our output. Where is it? Trump. Oil, Mexico will reduce output. So, there you go. Let's see. This is how fucked up Trump's oil policy was while he was in office. Remember this stuff? Does anybody remember this? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not fair to make you remember this. You remember this? That the Energy Department, Trump's administration talked to Mexico and talked them into cutting production. And we were going to help them financially to do it so that the oil companies wouldn't get capsized in this process. Yeah? Oil producers group OPEC and allies Thursday announced the record supply cut, but the plans were cast in doubt after Mexico balked at the cuts. Mexico later said they would move forward thanks to a deal with the U.S. to help shoulder the reductions. He had proposed to, quote, help Mexico along. He said the U.S. would reduce its output and Mexico would reimburse the U.S. at some later date. He added he wasn't sure the deal would be accepted. We're working on it. I think it's going to work out eventually. Very good. It's going to work out. So work out. Oil markets were closed on Friday, but the prospect of cuts had failed to boost prices a day earlier, with many analysts saying they would do little to offset the massive drop in demand. Hey, look at that. Remember reality affecting a market and changing how much oil we were using and gasoline we were expending? Remember reality? Anybody remember reality? I remember that. We used to incorporate that into our perception about news. Reduce the surplus. Remember that? Look at that. In prepared remarks, U.S. Secretary Dan Brouillette called the situation dire and made worse by the price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia after Russia would not join a plan to cut supply last month. Said America would take surplus off the market by storing as much oil as possible and predicted a fall in U.S. output, pointing to the struggles low prices were creating for U.S. companies, but he did not promise specific reductions. Call on nations, blah, blah, blah. And then, however, on Friday, Mexican President Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador said Mr. Trump had spoken to him on Thursday and suggested the U.S. would help its neighbor with the cuts. They said the U.S. would make 250,000 barrels per day in additional cuts to its output, allowing Mexico to just cut 100,000. Does anybody remember laughter? We've got to go beg OPEC to increase the supply after I begged everyone to cut the supply the year before. And they did. And now boats don't have enough fuel. Uh-oh. Can you say overcorrection, anyone?
Yeah, and we're reliant on all of the people that it's like it was 5 years ago. We had energy independence, and if you remember, $1.87 a gallon to fill up your car. $1.80.
Yeah, and when no one was going anywhere. When oil was negative $35 a barrel.
Now it's up to $6, $7 in California.
Oh, son of a bitch. I thought we were going to get through this. Jesus Christ. Every fucking time. But some people are new. We've had a lot of new people in here. Maybe you guys haven't seen this. Trump keeps referencing this $7 a gallon in California. It's actually higher than that, $7.50. But this is what he's referencing. Now, there's a little surprise in here, and many of the people who are regulars know this. So tap your brakes so we don't ruin the supply for the surprise for them. Oh boy. Fact or fiction, California gas stations charging $7 per gallon. What? The what? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. It's true. Sadly, it's true. The only gas station in the remote central coastal community of Gorda is selling regular unleaded for $7.59 a gallon. It's almost $8.50 for premium. The town is known for having some of the highest prices in the country. Now, does anybody remember who was president in 2018? Anybody remember who was president in 2018? Or 2019. Let's just go to 2019. My mistake. In July 2019, in Salinas, California, it says the Americo gas station in that town was charging $11.75 for a single gallon of gas. So let me run this by. Yeah, right now it's $7.50. When Trump was president, before COVID, it was $11.75. It was almost $12 a gallon. That's not even premium. You fucking stooge. We've seen this so many times. Trump was president in 2019. That's the one thing even the maggots and trolls can agree to. Maggots, you guys know this, that he was your president in 2019. Remember those sweet days? And while he was president, that gas station that's charging $7.50 a gallon, that's just terrible, it's as high as $7, was $11.75 while Trump was president. It was very powerful gas. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful gas. Oh, also, remember how let's see. Remember how Trump said when he was running against Biden that liquid natural gas is done.
They don't like the gas.
Remember that? Remember that?
You're gonna
And
frack.
he's like, if he becomes president again,
You're gonna frack.
right? Remember that, Seth? But Biden's not going to let you do that.
They don't like the gas.
That's right. They don't like the gas. Remember when he said that? Remember that shit? What's the date on this? What's the date on those? What happened there? U.S. becomes world's top exporter of liquefied natural gas, LNG. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Congratulations. I know all you America First crowd will at least begrudgingly give credit where credit is due and celebrate the fact that America is number one in this, right? You guys are going to be excited. I mean, it's a mitigatory fuel, better than coal, fewer, less carbon in the atmosphere. It's a transitional thing. It's not something you'll do forever, but in the interim step, short of letting people freeze to death, which is not a step I find acceptable, this is a plus, right? Right? All the trolls in here who hate my guts and call me a liar and da 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 da. I mean, it's adorable. And by the way, thanks for being here. We unlike other shows, we appreciate the trolls being here, and the more you type, the more powerful we become. I'm the Obi-Wan Kenobi of, and maybe that's the hairdo I'm going for right now. It's no use, Luke. If you'd have been here, if you'd have been there, you'd have been killed too, and the droids would now be in the hands of the Empire. Only a master of evil doth. It's the Obi-Wan haircut in the prequels. And it's spelled M-A-G-A, lower, all caps, lowercase t. Lowercase s, maggots. Yes. Qui-Gon. Yeah, I've got Qui-Gon hair. There you go. But, hey, I know you guys think America's going to hell and it's shitty and America sucks and America last and America bad and America garbage and America and Biden's America terrible and Americans. And when we change presidents, we suddenly our souls switch on and off like a fucking switch, and we're incapable of being great without, dear leader, follow the bring me into the sunshine, dear leader. But you gotta, yeah, democracy bad, right? In this particular case, you can sell. Can you? Are you capable of celebrating this? Are you? Are you even capable of being happy about this? Yeah, it's a magats now because it's Make America Great Again, 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 and again, and again, and again. All right. Just saying. Ouch. Oh, it's gotta suck.
Over $7.
When people look at this Nord Stream 2 deal, you were holding Russia accountable for that. And no one.
And by the way, if he stopped it, why were they still building it? We can't stop it. We cannot stop the Nord Stream pipeline. We can't order Russia to stop building. We can't order Germany to not have it. Like, nobody stopped it. He put pauses on. He tried to, and it's hard to even say what he actually accomplished. He didn't even delay production, or rather construction on it. But again, I've said many times, one of the ways that you defeat Russia is you narrow the areas where they can make money into areas you have more control over. So if they use trucks and boats to ship their energy to Europe, to stop it, you got to block those ships and boats, which is dangerous and warlike and entails killing people if you want to stop it. Whereas a pipeline, it's a nice pipeline you got there. It'd be hard for it to, it looked pretty, if something happened to your pipeline, it'd be kind of sad. Meanwhile, let's see. Now I'm sure that folks know about this too. That if something were to happen to the Nord Stream, well, if they've gotten European or American insurance companies to insure it, that ends up costing us. We end up paying the price of what would be a physical sanction by, shutting it off, blowing it up, any of those kind of things. If Ukraine struck the pipeline using stuff we gave them, we would end up paying to get it to rebuild it, right? Oh no. Oh yeah. You think there might be a strategy? You think there might be some actual thought going into this instead of this, rubber mallet and crayons foreign policy that Trump was doing? You bet you could. I like him. He's a good person, even though he suffocates his own people. He's a bad person. That kind of shit. Do you think they even know? Do you think they care? Do you think the America First crowd is paying attention to any of this shit, or are they just taking his word for it? Hi, Amy. No? You don't think so? He's fantastic, Amy. Thank you for asking.
Understand why the Biden administration or Democrats would not go forth with these sanctions in Ted Cruz's bill last week.
Well, somebody got a lot of money. If you look at the money part of it, somebody got money, but we had it stopped. And it's also very bad for Europe.
Yeah, by the way, we let it go through because somebody's getting a payoff from Russia. Germany? Who? The US? Who's been dealing with the Ukraine-Russian energy trade besides Rudy Giuliani and Trump's own family?
They supply the energy to Europe. If they ever get into a little fisticuffs, it's going to be pretty bad where they say, guess what, we're turning off your energy.
Right. But also that's how they make money. It's a balancing act. It's diplomacy with strength, and in that strength, it's way easier because when you blow up a pipeline, you don't have to kill soldiers and sailors. So it's easier to make that happen. Also, does anybody know what... Guys, I don't know if you even knows this. Does anybody know what's in that pipeline? Does anybody know what's in the Nord Stream pipeline? What do they put through that? What is actually traveling through it? Is it oil? Is it liquefied coal? Is it perhaps a substance that the United States has a lot of, and if Europe's ever hurting for it because they can't get it from Russia, they'll pay a premium to get it from someplace else? No? Anybody know what's in the Nord Stream? And if it stops, where they get their needs met? Nobody? Anybody? Fucking, can anybody just go play fucking Risk for an afternoon?
Closing up plants, and they're reliant on Nord Stream. And I was the one that brought it up. You would have never heard the term. I brought it up. I ended it. And now Biden approves it, and they're going to be completing it fairly soon. It's a disgrace.
We got a charged up crowd out there, and they're very excited to see you, very excited to see Kari Lake. This is going to be
this is before. That makes sense. I think he spent it all in the gym.
Important state in 2022. What do you think is the most important election issue for the voters of 2022 in Arizona?
I think the borders for Arizona certainly are. And that, the whole country is a border if you think about it. They're pouring.
Yeah. The whole country is a border. Yeah. Yeah, if you think about it. The whole, I'm sorry. Does anyone else smell almonds and burnt toast? The whole country's a border if you think about it.
Throughout the country, but for Arizona and Texas in particular, the borders are a terrible.
Yeah, the whole country's a border if you really think about it, but the places that actually are on the border, it's even more so. Jesus Christ. I am, Amy. Thank you.
Terrible problem. We have millions of people coming into our country, and many are coming from prisons of other countries. Over 120.
Oh God, this fucking story. They're dumping people in. Okay, how many times do we have to cover? Okay, you're the worst kind of criminal. You're a former cartel assassin who's got a penchant for sexual assault and murder. You're the awful dude they turn loose when things, when they carry about, they want wet works, but they don't care about anybody wherever they send you. And the Guatemalan or the Honduras government catches you, puts you in jail. And eventually, this way thinks the plan is. They go to the jail and they go, hey, we're going to let you out, but you have to promise not to do anything awful like you love to do until you get to America. Okay, I promise. No. I mean, not here, not in Mexico, because you'll get caught. And what we want is for you to get into America and do all that stuff. But what if I don't get in? Well, try again. Why can't I just join a cartel on my way there and they'll hire me to do the murder and I like it when there's lots of kids. Don't touch the kids till you get there. Please? No. Walk all the way to America. Don't commit any crimes. Don't get yourself thrown back in jail. It's counterproductive because they'll find out you're from Honduras and they'll send you back to us. Just promised? All right. 2 weeks later, what the fuck are you doing here? I couldn't wait. Son of a bitch.
9 countries, they said last week. They're people from 129 countries. It's not just like Mexico and Honduras and, et cetera. They had 129 countries. And
yes, including the northern border, like Swedes living in Canada coming over because there's a lot of jobs. Like, what are you talking about? In the entire, all ports, all everything. It's not the southern border, you nutcase.
Emptying out their prisons. The United States is a dumping ground for a lot of people that are.
How do they get them here exactly? Do they coyote them from one? Do they all get in the same van? Is it like a Con Air kind of a situation? Put the bunny back in the box. Are we gonna find Steve Buscemi wandering near the border? They're dumping them all. They're all 129 countries dumping all their prisoners into the United States. Why? Because Biden said the borders were open. Well, he didn't actually say that, nor did the our immigration and secretary. Nobody actually said that, except Trump and Republicans. They've been saying it nonstop. They've all been saying the border's wide open. Find me the Democrat that is in a power to do anything that said the border's wide open. We want people to come on in. People are welcome. Let's get them in here. Come on. Oh yeah, I don't care. No vetting. Just get them in. Open border. Let it go. So no. Leave these people alone. Like not a single fucking Democrat is for that or saying that. Meanwhile, Ted Cruz, though, that dude's on Texas TV channels that broadcast across the border fucking twice a week saying that shit.
Not the people that we want.
And when it comes to the leadership of the GOP right now, what kind of letter grade would you give?
Oh, this is good stuff. Okay, this is very good. It's going to be, what do you think? We have some great people and we have some terrible people, but Mitch McConnell's a disgrace. What do you think?
Leader McCarthy and McConnell.
Well, I've been working well with Kevin, and we've been doing very well together, and we're working on the election, and I'd give him a very high mark. I'm not a fan of McConnell. I haven't been.
But by the way, the election, he means 2020. Strategy.
Helped him get elected. Without me, he would have lost his race. And then he goes and makes stupid statements after January 6th, which was not my situation. This was just a stupid thing he did. But he's a bad leader. He gave them 2 months. That 2-month stay, that 2 months of adjustment gave them a power that they should have never had. So I'm not a fan of him, and I think he's hurting the party very.
Yeah, what he's talking about is the debt ceiling. because in his opinion, they should have, they didn't vote for it. They just let it go forward, which they have to. It's just silly. But that debt ceiling raise is to pay for the interest on the debt accrued during his presidency. That's his debt. If there's a rise in the debt ceiling next year or the year after, that conversation will be about what, if any, debt has been taken on by the Biden administration. But the one this year, or last year technically, that came around was to pay for the fiscal year budget the year before, which is his.
Badly, McConnell.
All right, well, I got the wrap up here. What's the main message for this crowd tonight?
Well, it's a message of love. I mean, our country's going to hell. Our borders are open.
It's a message of love. I mean, our country's going to hell. And I love that our country's going to hell, but it's a message of love. We don't have love. What the fuck? Oh, God. Say that again.
McConnell.
All right, well, I got the wrap up here. What's the main message for this crowd tonight?
Well, it's a message of love. I mean, our country's going to hell. Our borders are open. You take a look at what's happening with our economy and inflation, and
sounds like
you
love.
Look at fuel prices. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, where it costs 4 times more to fill up your car today than it did a couple of months ago. I mean, 9 months ago. We had it down to a level that it was so good, great for the industry and also great for the consumer, people that want to fill up a tank. No, we're a country that's in serious trouble, but we'll turn it around. We're going to fight very hard. We're going to turn it around. I say, make America great again, again.
All right. Mr. President, always great to talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You got time for a quick selfie?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
What was that? Is that a neck pull-in strategy as an aging man I should be aware of? What? Yeah. Got time for a quick selfie?
Great again, again.
So professional.
All right. Mr. President, always great to talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You got time for a quick selfie?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I did. That's what that was. It's like a jowl lifting exercise. Look at this douchebaggery. The one thing I like about Newsmax is their professionalism. You know what I mean? This is.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You got time for a quick selfie?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Great to see you.
And there you go. We had to end it with a selfie. That's what you do, I guess, in 2020.
No, it isn't what you do, asshole. You don't do that on camera. Why do you, he'd have given you one, what the fuck? What kind of fanboy bullshit is this? And by the way, way to go, truly objective news with that. Tell us the truth about and the difficult truth. And I ask the hard questions, and I hope you can appreciate that. Can we get a selfie afterwards? Because you're fucking awesome. Meanwhile, the lamestream media is totally in the pocket of big tech and the Democratic Party.